Contemplations about love, about life, and beyond. So, this is my little attempt to share with you something about my world, where I live. And for those of you that have an interest in similar things, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being here um, to contemplate with me. And remember, contemplation is not a one way thing. Contemplation is a very personal thing. It's about um, looking inward, looking past your mind and your thoughts, and coming inward into what do I think about? Not just what do I think about that, but what do I feel? Not just what I feel, but what is my truth about this? What is my deepest level of wisdom or awakening or truth about this topic? So that's what I'm going to ask you to do, is to invite you to really introspect at the deepest level possible, and then share with us in the comments, and where you what you feel and what you insight, and what gets you at the deepest level about the things that we're talking about. So today's topic is the power of humility, and this just came out with a discussion that I was having with a client of mine today, and it was just a fascinating conversation. So I thought I would share it with all of you and see what you think about it. Now, there have been a lot of people in the past who've talked about humility, and I didn't quite know how to kind of put this in today's context, but I must say that, um, oh yeah, I must share with you something really important. That is that while it might seem, since I'm sitting at the mic and I'm at the one in front of the camera and I'm the one talking, that it might seem to you like this guy either knows a lot or thinks he knows a lot, or he's full of crap, or whatever else it is. Look, I'm not here to tell you that I'm right or that you're wrong, or that um, anything I have to say means anything. It's probably all nothing. It's probably all a bunch of crap. And if that's what you think, that's fine. Please think that. I have no issues with it. Um, what I am trying to share with you is insights that I get in the course of conversation, insights that come to me in solitude, in quiet, that are so, how would you say, compelling and powerful. I don't know where they come from. It's not my intellect that I attribute this to. It comes to me, and I contemplate it, and I want to share it with you. And I wonder if you've thought about similar things, or similar insights have come to you. Maybe I'm the only crazy one out here who has such thoughts, but I bet I'm not. And I bet that you've been having various insights and thoughts as well. And if you are, and if you want to talk about them, I'll be happy to let you in on this talk. I have a way of adding people in so we can actually talk simultaneously. It's boring sometimes to be the only person talking. But let me tell you something more about this now. So humility is one of these topics that has been talked about literally for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Um, and it's been presented as one of the most important parts of a spiritual practice. So if you look at the teachings of, let's go back all the way to Jesus, where he talked about the greatest amongst you shall be the least, and the servant to all. The greatest amongst you shall be the least, and the servant to all. Now, being a servant is something people think of as horrible, and is not something so dignified and great. But he's saying the greatest amongst you shall think of yourself as the least. This same sentiment, this same feeling is echoed by Chaitanya in his verses called the Shikshashtakam, where he talks about the same thing. Let me just pull that up here. And he says here, um, he talks about chanting the name of God in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the name of God, or one can approach the divine constantly. So it's such a revelation in today's time to be talking about humility, because we seem to be in a time where there is a flood of narcissism and a flood of egoistic behavior. We're encouraged. In fact, the most powerful people are the ones who are the most arrogant, proud, narcissistic. We reward them. We let them rise to be the CEOs of companies, to be the presidents, to be all kinds of leaders, because they're really outspoken and they will say whatever it's they need to say. They don't care if they lie or cheat or whatever else it is that they have to do. So I'd like to share with you some of my thoughts on this topic, and that is that, see, all of that, whether you have confidence, whether you have a sense of, by the way, don't mix this up with self love. Confidence and self love are two entirely different things. Um, Whether you have a sense of confidence and whether you believe in yourself or not has nothing to do with self love and has nothing to do with humility. Let me go to the roots of this problem. The problem begins with the ego. The ego is defined in the course of our lives by the things that people say to us. Therefore, we're always like worrying about what will people say about us, and we're never quite happy when they criticize us. When people criticize us, it actually kills the ego. Let me explain what I mean. The ego is formed by the things that people have said, or let's start with your parents, then your teachers, your friends, and ultimately you yourself say to yourself. So when someone calls you, let's say, smart or handsome or pretty or strong or rich or powerful or creative or intelligent or popular, charismatic, these are all things that form your ego and make it powerful and strong. But these very things can be torn down by someone who's critical. And if they start calling you stupid and ugly and weak and an idiot, or no one likes you, things like that, then you're going to find your ego crumbling. And if that's how your self-talk is, and if that's how you're criticizing yourselves, you're going to break yourself down really fast. I see people do that all the time and then come to me seeking help, and I have to help them kind of rebuild that ego back again. But the ego as such is therefore a fragile thing, and it can be made and it can be unmade, just depending on, how you talk to yourself, essentially. Too much of your ego, too much of your self-esteem even, can lead to a sense of narcissism. And too little of it will make you lack confidence, will make you doubt yourself, will possibly even take you down a road of depression and even suicide. So it's really a slippery slope either way. Either you become narcissistic, or at either extreme, you become, you really lose it. Uh, what is the balanced state? The balanced state that I consider is a place where you can balance confidence with humility. And you say, well, why humility? Where does humility fit into this whole picture? Sounds like an odd thing to talk about in a time today when everyone's kind of they're telling us how great they are and the wonderful things they have to offer the world. And you've got all the folks out on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and everybody's out there touting their greatness. And humility has an important message to tell us, the truth about life that none of us wants to hear. And that is that I am insignificant. And I'm not just saying this in a rhetorical way. I mean this literally. I am insignificant. You are insignificant. We are tiny little specks of dust in a cosmos that is so vast that not even our imagination can get as far as it goes and stretches. So we are truly insignificant in that sense. At the same time, we have this body, this mind. It's unique in its own way. I didn't design my body. I didn't design my intellect. I certainly don't keep my heart pumping, and I don't keep my lungs breathing. Something within me does this, and I have no idea what that is. I have no idea why I am the way I am, why I have whatever gifts I have and whatever flaws I have. You perhaps don't even know why you are the way you are. Your parents certainly didn't put together this body and mind and make it the way it is. Sure, they were as they were, and the combination of them has some influence on you, and so does the society and everything else. But still, something greater than all of us put together has a great role in us being the way we are. And in yesterday's work that I read about from John O'Donohue, Anamkara, he talks about the divine artist. And I think that's a great way to describe that which people have called God. The divine artist who makes each one of us into a masterpiece, a unique masterpiece, filled with beauty. And that beauty can only be found when we are in a place of solitude. But coming back to the point. So knowing that humility, that I am insignificant, but at the same time, I am blessed. I am blessed to be created in this unique, beautiful way, the way I am. And that brings me to gratitude, to be grateful to that creator that made me the way I am. So you see, this humility leads to gratitude. Now, at the same time, I need to function in the world. So I need to take that which I've been given, the gifts that I've been given, and maximize them. I need to see their strengths and weaknesses in myself and in others. I need to stop comparison because no one is like me and I'm like no one else, right? So no two people are the same. I need to accept myself as I am. Perhaps I don't have the intellect that somebody else has, and perhaps they don't have some of the qualities I have. So acceptance is very important. Seeing your strengths and weaknesses, stopping comparison, accepting yourself as you are, and maximizing whatever you've been given. So if you've been given the talent of musician, then maximizing that. If you've been given the power of writing or speaking, then maximizing that. That might mean learning something. It might mean improving that skill, working on it. While at the same time, and this comes back to humility, that we will never be perfect and we will always make mistakes and do silly and stupid things. We were designed that way, to be flawed in a sense. So here's the sum or the summary of what I'm trying to tell you. On one hand, I am insignificant. I am nothing. And on the other hand, I am significant. I've been blessed with these wonderful qualities and gifts of body and mind and spirit that I am, and the uniqueness that I am. So on one hand, I am insignificant, and on the other hand, I am significant. And this is the paradox. On one hand, I am nothing. On the other hand, I am everything. It's such a unique place to be. This is the place where you have both confidence and humility coming together at the same time. And when you bring these two things together, it's a powerful, heady combination. I have a aloha from Zana, who I know is all the way in Hawaii at present. Hi, Zana, and welcome. Please let me know if you have any thoughts or comments to what I'm saying, if you've had any thoughts or realizations on the power of humility. And if you would like to add something, Zana, please write it in the text. Any of you that are here and would like to add to the comments, I'll be happy. And I want to respond to them. And I want you to know I will respond to every single comment, at least with a like or a love or with an actual comment back. So please know I am looking to hear from you. What you say matters, and what you feel and what you think is significant. I do not believe that I have the ultimate truth or the answers to anything. It belongs to all of us. So feel free to participate, to let me know what you think. I'm here for you. I love you. And I look forward to you joining me every weekday, at least for this month. I'm gonna run this out for this month, and then we'll see about from next month we run it to a different schedule. But I will be here one way or the other. If not every day, then we'll every weekday. Right now is how we're planning it. We'll take that as we go along. But I want to see what really works. So this is a little experiment, and thank you for joining with me on this. I look forward to connecting with you in every way possible, whether it's in person, whether it's here online, whether it's in your comments. Definitely having some wonderful discussions with you and enriching our lives through that, learning from each other, growing together. Thank you for being part of this wonderful tribe. I love you. Take care and have a wonderful day.